So we're with Jacob Fred Jazz Odyssey here in Montreal. Welcome, guys. Can you please introduce yourself as well so that people know you as individuals as well?
I'm Jeff Harshbarger. I play the bass.
Brian Haas, I play piano.
Josh Raymer, I play the drums.
Chris Combs, I play lap steel.
So tonight you're playing at Astral at 9 p.m. and you told me earlier that you're going to play some pieces of your upcoming album, Rest Riot Suite. Mm-hmm. I wanted to know a little more about that because I read that it started during a live performance, the creation of this suite. Mm-hmm. And was it this year? And
No. Chris started writing the piece at this point, I would say 15 or 16 months ago. And so maybe the press release was just worded in a strange way, but he started writing it, almost 2 years ago. And then we started playing it last fall on tour in September and October. And then in January, we brought in 5 horns to record it with us in Tulsa. And we brought in Jeff Coffin, Stephen Bernstein, Peter Affelbaum, Mark Sutherland, Matt Leland, all these horns to record it with us in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then we did the world premiere in May, and then the record doesn't come out till August 30th. So, it's a little confusing. We might need to clarify that.
But actually, the topic of that is pretty intense, and I wanted to know how, as you come from Oklahoma, from Tulsa as well, and it speaks really about this riot that took place in 1921, and I wanted to know how did this start? This idea just to write a piece about that. Probably, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's actually the biggest race riot in the history of America, and a lot of people don't know about it. Especially in our hometown, it's not really talked about or accepted as part of the city's history, and it's a really formative piece of the city, and has kind of continued to shape the community ever since. And it wasn't until 2001 that there was an official government-sanctioned, search for information and for reparations done. So it was not talked about for a long time, and it was, it's a fascinating and tragic story, and so that was the inspiration for all of the material, and it just kind of came together as a long-form piece.
And how do you approach that, this kind of topic, actually, just musically speaking? Because what is after that the message that you want to convey with the writing on this topic particularly?
Right, yeah, because it doesn't begin and end with the riot. In the riot thematically happens very early in the piece, and in the suite ends with modern day, with our generation and the struggles that we continue to go through. So I think the hope is just that we can inspire people to re-examine their own relationships and just continue the course of evolution that was started with a lot of the civil rights movements and everything in the 60s. So.
And how was this suite and perceived in your hometown and as well in the state where you're from?
It's been received really well, actually. That's the more that we're doing it, the more people come up to us and say, "I had no idea this event even happened." And what you're doing with it is so respectful to the idea of the history. I think it's the most mature work that this band's done, and I think tackling such a huge idea forces a band to grow together and to really consider its own direction and the best way to, the best way to produce the emotion and to produce the history of the event, musically. Musicians have always been inspired by the politics of their days and of their times and of their region. I don't think we're doing anything different than Mingus or Ellington or many of the great jazz composers have always done. the more we're doing it, the more people are aware of this thing that's happened, and the more they're aware of the group. It's been a very positive thing in the history of the band and for our communities.
You said that was the most mature work that the band has ever done. But I mean, you guys exist since 1994, if I'm not mistaken. So, what was the evolution of the band beside this project? So, how would you just describe also the evolution of the band and type of projects that you do, the way you approach music, etc.?
Well, the initial concept of the band has always been that everybody composes, that everybody can be a leader in the ensemble. That's why it's called Jacob Fred. It's just to mean that it's leaderless. There is no leader. Anybody can decide to lead. And so the evolution of the ensemble for 18 years has led us to a really interesting point. Chris and Josh, who are sitting next to you, they started listening to this band when they were teenagers, when they were just in high school. And you ask about the evolution. I think the most important thing about an ensemble evolving and changing is that the compositions keep growing and that a variety of people compose. And so Chris wrote every bit of the Race Riot suite, and I think when he wrote that, he evolved our language. He helped us evolve our concept as a band. And I think part of why he was able to do that is because he'd been listening to the music since he was in 8th grade or 9th grade. And so it's really interesting to have one of the younger members of the ensemble, because I'm the one who started the band when I was 19. So for me, it's really interesting to have one of the younger members of the ensemble, somebody who used to come see me, then write a greater composition than I could write, forcing me to become not just a better pianist, but forcing me to become a better musician, forcing me to become a better composer, and forcing all of us to rise to the task. So to me, that's how this band has always worked. We're always bringing in new people, changing the lineup. But I would say this quartet that we have right now is my favorite lineup we've ever had. So that tells me that at least evolution is happening, that at least we are growing in some way. I feel very grateful that this isn't my least favorite lineup, you know? I mean, to me, it's amazing that the band and the music and just the language that we're creating is able to take on a life of its own, that it sort of has its own identity and its own whims that it follows. So I think this new music is very much a reflection of that. It's sort of like the sum total of everything that we've been doing for the last 18 years culminates with this record. Because when this band started, it started as an 8-piece band with horns. And then by 2001, we had no horns, and now suddenly there's horns again. So it's about cycles, but it's about positive growth. And I mean, I'd agree with Jeff. I think Chris has written the best piece of music that this band has ever put out, by a long shot. So,
how do you feel about that?
Go ahead.
Feel humbled and honored to be a part of it. You know, I feel like this is one of the best bands in the world, and I'm honored to be part of it.
Do you have anything to add?
I mean, that's how I felt about it for a while. You know, it's my favorite band in high school, without a doubt, and I've been in the band for about 4 years now, and it's been the best thing for me, and I'm enjoying every step of it.
So do you have any last message for the people who are coming to see you tonight, or from Montreal that just welcomes you today for the Jazz Festival?
Yeah, we're just really excited to be here. It's such a beautiful, beautiful city with beautiful people, and it's one of the biggest jazz festivals in the world. So we're very honored to be a part of it, for sure.
have a seat, grab a listen. You know, and I think it's going to be a great show tonight. Please come out, enjoy it, and be sure to let us know what you think.
So this is tonight at Astral at 9 p.m. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Claude.
Oh yeah, that's right, Canada Day. Yeah.
Happy Canada Day.